Okay, hello. Hello, am I audible to all of you? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Acha. Okay. Okay, today we will do in the three-phase power system, we'll do the network simulation of the transmission lines. See, in our power system, wait a second. Just wait a second. Hello. In our power system, what is power system? Power system is a network which consists of gen three three basic works: generation, distribution, and transmission. Right. So for these things, we get generation means supply. We get our supply from power plants. We do the distribution work, that is transfer the power supply, power produced by the use of transmission lines, and then it goes to via transmission lines to do the work of distribution, and then it goes to the consumers for say industrial applications or residential applications, etc. So if we follow the complete process, it involves the total network of power system consists of several things, such as the first of all the power plant, which is producing the total power, so means the power plant. Then it goes to the substations, then via transmission lines that we are studying, that we have studied earlier. Via transmission line, it goes to step up or step down transformers. Again, after going to the substations, it is again supplied to the distribution transformers via again transmission lines. Then it goes to a tower or distribution transformers. Then it comes to our consumers, maybe industrial or home supply. So if we look at the total network, if we have a total overview of a network of the network, then we will see that two things are constantly changing. Number one, since we are doing the step up and step down operations, the first thing which changes is the load. Every single time there is the transformers come in between, we have a change in the load, that is in the demand of voltage and current in the mm, in the circuit, in the network. And number two is the length of the transmission lines. Depending on how far or how, yes, exactly, how far we are intending to supply our um, intending to supply the power, we use various types of transmission lines, maybe short, maybe medium, maybe long, and there is a certain range for every type of transmission lines. Therefore, these two things, there is the load, number one, and that is the length of the transmission lines. These two parameters always vary in every power system network. Hence, we need to have a considerable idea about what change occurs in the power system network if we change the load and the transmission line. So today we will be doing a simulation by varying the load parameters and by varying the length of the transmission lines, and see what effect the changes make in the total network or in the supply. What kind of reading do we get, right? So we will see that via simulation. So Pankaj sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, will you take it from here, sir?
Okay.
So, sir, I'm making you the host
Okay.
then.
Yes, sir. No problem. Okay. So, good afternoon to all of you. And as Answer told that today we will do some simulation on the basic circuitry for power system network, because as this is the lab of power system 2, and in power system 2 you have to do the things from the different corners of fault, from the different corners of load flow analysis, and from the different corners of stability. So in our previous power system 1 and also in power system 2, we had learned a lot. We had learned about the different types of fault. We had learned about the per unit system. We had learned about the different types of generation, transmission, and distribution. We had learned about different types of transmission lines. We had learned about the sagging in the transmission line. We had learned about the different types of insulators and all, isn't it? And we know for any power system network, some of the components play a very important role, like transformer, like a generator, alternator or synchronous generator, like transmission line and load. Okay. And in addition to this, also there are various parameters which will works as a monitoring device for the transmission line, which can be a relay, which can be a current transformer, which can be a potential transformer, which can be a circuit breaker, and anything else. Okay. And in our previous lecture, up to our previous class of the simulation that I am taking for the simulation lab as well as for the power system lab, we had conducted the experiment basically on single phase circuits, because we have, first of all, I had demonstrated you that what is the basic components of MATLAB and what are the different things we have in the sim power system block, and how you will utilize the basic components like DC voltage source, resistance and all. Then I demonstrated you the single phase circuit, lag lead circuit, Ferranti effect, and basic types of rectifiers, isn't it? So we had basically simulated the single phase circuits up to today's lecture of power system lab or in the simulation lab. And we want to do some experiments on power system, and that is basically a three-phase network, isn't it? So today, first of all, I would like to demonstrate you that how we make three-phase circuits. Today, first of all, I will demonstrate how we make three-phase circuits in the MATLAB simulation, because until and unless you know how to make three-phase circuit, it is not possible for us to make any experiment oriented to power system 1 or power system 2 in MATLAB. Because whenever we want to do any simulation work, it is basically three-phase oriented, isn't it? So today, first of all, we will discuss the, so I am sharing my screen. So first of all, I am discussing the basic simulation work for how to make a basic three-phase circuit using MATLAB. Okay. So I am sharing my MATLAB. So is it visible?
Yes, sir. Totally visible.
Okay. Good. So what to do? Let us first of all open a model. Okay. Let us first of all open a model. And in the model, what we will do? Suppose we want to make a basic three-phase circuit. Suppose we want to make a basic three-phase circuit, isn't it? So what we need, first of all, we have to click on the Simulink browser, as I told earlier. And in the Simulink browser, what we can take sim power system. We can click on the sim power system. And from the sim power system, if we click on the electrical source, then we are getting a three-phase source, three-phase source, isn't it? So this is a very common supply which is used for making any three-phase circuit. It can be utilized for a three-phase source. It can be utilized for a generator, for an alternator, because this is basically a three-phase source. And whenever we want to simulate any power system network, we have to represent the sending end voltage from which we are basically transmitting the power. So sending end voltage, what we need a voltage source, we need a three-phase source, or we need a power plant. So this is the common thing which we are used for representing any three-phase voltage source. Okay. Now suppose I am taking, now definitely for making a single phase circuit, what we need? We need a single phase supply, we need a single phase load. So if we want to make a basic three-phase circuit, What we need? We need a basic three-phase supply and we need a basic three-phase load, isn't it? Now let us let us click on the elements, and in elements we can see we can get you can see three-phase series RLC load. We can get three-phase parallel RLC load as per our requirement. Okay, let us take three-phase series RLC load here. So here we are taking a three-phase voltage source, and here we are taking a three-phase load. Okay, so as you see the knobs, as you see the knobs of the three-phase load is in the upward direction, so we have to make it rotate. So click on it and Control R. Okay, so I am making a three-phase source with a three-phase load. Okay, now if I want to simulate this basic circuit, using, suppose I am taking a scope, I am taking a ammeter from the measurement block, current measurement, and I am taking one voltage measurement. Okay, and suppose I am connecting this circuit like this, very simple, A to A, B to B, and C to C. And suppose we have a scope here, and suppose this is the ammeter. I am connecting the ammeter in any one of the line. Suppose I am connecting three ammeters. So this is one ammeter. This is one ammeter, and this is one ammeter. Okay, so let me connect three ammeters in the line. This A to this input of the ammeter, B to this input of this ammeter, and C to this input of that ammeter, and the output will be connected to A, the output will be connected to B, and the output will be connected to C. Similarly, suppose we have three voltmeters. We have this voltmeter, okay, and simultaneously I am taking, suppose I am taking three voltmeters. Suppose one voltmeter here, one voltmeter there, and one voltmeter there. So suppose I'm connecting this voltmeter with A and B phase. Okay, so I'm naming this voltmeter as VAB. Suppose I am naming this, I am connecting this voltmeter with phase B and phase C. So let me name this as VBC, and let us connect this voltmeter with phase C and phase A, and let us name this voltmeter as VCA. Okay. Similarly, we have one ammeter connected in the first line, so let us call this current to be IA. Okay, and we have one ammeter connected with the line B. Let this is IB, and the third ammeter connected with line C is IC. We have three ammeters, three voltmeters, and let us say I am taking two scopes. I am taking two scopes, and let me save this as, suppose I am saving this simulation as a basic three-phase circuit, BTPC 1. Okay. And what I am doing basically, I am using one ammeter, one scope. I am using one scope for measuring the currents of the respective three phases. Okay. And I am using one scope for measuring the voltage of the respective three phases. Okay. So we have two scopes, one for measuring the one for measuring the voltage, one for measuring the current. Now, as we know, we have three currents. So let us make this current scope as 3 axis. And as we know, we have 3 voltages. So let us make this as 3 axis. Okay. Now in the current, first of all, I am giving IA. Then I am giving IB. Then I am giving IC. Okay. And in the voltmeter, suppose first of all I am giving the VAB, then VBC, and then we have VCA. Okay. So we had made a very basic three-phase circuit in which we are taking a three-phase source. So what is the voltage of the source? Let us say that voltage source is 11 kV. 11E3 means 11 kV. The frequency is 50 hertz. Okay. And the KVA rating is suppose 10 MVA. Suppose 10 MVA. And the base voltage will be also equivalent to 11E3. And X by R is 7. So we are taking basically 11,000 k volt and the KVA rating to be 10 MVA. And the load I am taking, suppose I am taking the voltage to be 11E3, frequency to be 50. And initially what I am taking a resistive load. Suppose I am taking a resistive load of 10 kilowatt with no inductive power and no capacitive power. So what we are taking a simple resistive load. So I am making the equivalent circuit of this circuit here. As you can see, what we have, first of all, we have a source. These are the respective 3 sources. Okay. So let us say this is the EMF for the first phase EA, EMF for the second phase EB, and EMF for the third phase EC. And this point is neutral, and I'm connecting this source with a basically resistive load, with a star connected or Y connected resistive load, like this. Okay. And let us now analyze what is basically happening in the circuit. Suppose we have a polarity of EAB as E minus plus, minus plus, and minus plus. And this neutral is suppose small n. This phase sequence is suppose A, B, C. And this phase sequence is suppose small a, small b, and small c. Okay. So this is the circuit basically we are doing here. We are making a 3-phase source. This is the 3-phase source. And we are taking a 3-phase load. So in first case, I am taking a load to be resistive in nature. And what we are doing, basically we are connecting ammeter. We are connecting 3 ammeters in the circuit like that, like this. And we are connecting 3 voltmeters in the circuit. We have connected 3 ammeters and 3 voltmeters in the circuit from A to B, from A to C, and from B to C. Okay. So this is the equivalent circuit of the experiment that we are going to perform. This is the equivalent circuit of the experiment that we are going to perform. Okay. Now let us come on the circuit. So what are the different, so we had make the circuit, isn't it? So after making it, we have to run the circuit. So for running, you have to click on the start simulation. If a sound comes, that means the running is completed. Now, first of all, let us click on the voltage scope. So in the voltage scope, if we make it, if we auto scale it, then you can see clearly the three voltage sources. The three voltage are basically, they have same magnitude and they are displacing by 120 degree from each other. They have same magnitude, but they are displacing from 120 degree from each other. So basically what we are getting a three-phase waveform, but in three different domains. For the first, in the upper scope, we are getting for the A phase. Then in the middle scope, we are getting for the B phase. For first, in the upper scope, we are getting for the AB, then for BC, then for CA. So definitely we are taking the line voltage, and here we are getting a three-phase voltage, but in a three different domains. Okay. Now, if we click on the current, in the current also you are getting a current of same magnitude, as you are seeing the same magnitude, but they are displacing by an angle of 120 degree from each other, because this is a current and that is a three-phase voltage. Okay. So here, what is the problem we are facing? Here the problem we are facing, that we can represent the three-phase waveform in three different domains. But normally what we are doing, we are basically plotting the three-phase waveform like this, isn't it? What we are doing basically, we are drawing the three-phase waveform like this. So first of all, we are taking the x, y axis, and what we are doing, first of all, suppose for the R phase, we're drawing like this. For the R phase, we are drawing like this. Just wait. For the R phase, then we have for the Y phase, then we have for the blue phase, isn't it? So this is basically a three-phase waveform that we know basically, isn't it? But here we are getting the different waveforms in different domains. So to overcome this problem, we can do one thing. To overcome this problem, what we are doing, normally when we are working with three-phase circuit, we don't take this type of voltmeter, we don't take this type of ammeter. This type of voltmeters and ammeters can be used for single phase circuits only. This type of voltmeters and ammeters can be used for single phase circuits only, or for any complex circuit whenever we want to know the voltage or current of any particular parameter. Then only we are using this type of ammeter and voltmeter, isn't it? And you can see the circuit is also become very complex. We have different wires coming from their different parts. Okay. So to overcome this problem, what we do basically, we don't take this type of ammeter and voltmeter. Let me make this circuit again. So here we have 3 voltmeter, 3 ammeter. We don't need this type of ammeter and voltmeter here. For three-phase measurement, we have a specific voltmeter ammeter associated with us. What is that? You click on the symbol link, you go to the measurement, and you see a three-phase VI measurement. You can see three-phase VI measurement. You take this three-phase VI measurement. Okay, so this three-phase VI measurement means here we are basically measuring the voltage and current of a three-phase circuit, because in this block we have 3 input terminals and 5 output terminals. In the 3 input terminal, we have to connect the source, and in the 3 output terminals, we have to connect the load. You can see, and the voltage and current. You can see there is a port for voltage, there is a port for current. So what we need? We need only 2 axes. We don't need even 3 axes. We just need 2 axes, and this is for the voltage and current both. That is scope. Okay. So we are giving the voltage in the first and we are giving the current in the second. You can see the circuit is so simple, isn't it? In the previous case, we are using 3 voltmeter, 3 ammeter. We are using different voltmeter ammeter. But to overcome that problem, what you can do, we can use this 3-phase VI measurement. This is called 3-phase voltage current measurement, and this is widely used whenever we want to measure the voltage and current in any 3-phase circuit. Okay, now again we have to run the circuit, and we have to click on the scope, and in the scope you can see we are getting an exact 3-phase waveform as we expect. Am I clear to all of you? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So this is the thing we can do for a 3-phase circuit. We don't need different ammeters and different voltmeters. We only need is a 3-phase VI measurement, and the 3-phase VI measurement can be easily given to the scope, and we can get the output voltage and output current characteristics in a 3-phase waveform. And you can see 3 colors are using, one for the violet, one for yellow, one for blue. So violet stands for the R, Y stands for the Y, and blue stands for the B. So as we are using 3-phase, so here also the waveform is being demonstrated in 3 different colors. Okay. Now I would like to make you understand a very important thing called routing operation. Now I will make you understand a very important thing called, let me save this slide. That is PSL1 in desktop. And now what I make you understand is routing operation in MATLAB. What is a routing operation and what is a router? First of all, I would like to ask you a basic question that you may are the students from the electrical background, but do you know what is the meaning of router? What is a router? Anybody know what is a router? What is a router?
फॉलो करता हूँ सर सारे डिवाइसेस में.
Router, basically you had heard about this particular router in the case of internet connections. Whenever we have to make an internet network, we are using router. Router means what? Router means interconnected. Router means a particular part which interconnected a particular area from the view of internet, from the view of power, from the view of data, any form of data. Power can be also assumed to be a type of data, isn't it? So routing operation in MATLAB plays a very important role. Whenever we want to make a very complex circuit, whenever we want to make a very complex circuit, and I think you had did this in the class of Ayan sir. Ayan sir has take this the example of do some experiments based on the router. So I had see the video. That's why I'm saying. So what is basically a router? Router means, suppose we are making a very complex circuit. We are making a very complex circuit, and the scope is placed at this point. Suppose we are making a very complex circuit. Normally, the MATLAB simulations are quite complicated, because nowadays, what we are doing, we are working basically with the basic examples of MATLAB. But MATLABs are also very complicated. Okay, some MATLABs are very complicated. Some of the models, rather many of all the models that we are using in BTech, they are complicated. Okay, now to overcome the complication, what we can do, we can use the routing operation. What is routing operation? Routing operation is very simple. See, suppose as you see, the voltmeter is the VSC is connected with this point of the scope, and IABC is connected with this point of the scope, isn't it? Now I want to, this is a wired communication. Now I want to make a wireless communication. Suppose I want to make a wireless communication or routing communication. Routing communication is also called wireless communication. Okay. Now what is routing operation? See, for routing operation, what you have to do, you have to click on the library browser, and you have to go to the Simulink that you are getting in the first, and you have to click on the signal routing. You have to click on the signal routing, and in signal routing we have different types of routers, but basically today I will make you understand what is a from block and what is a go to block. These are the two basic blocks we are using for routing operation. One is a from block, one is a go to block. Okay, so in the go to block, you can see go to basically we have a arrow coming in the go to, and we have a arrow coming out from the from. Means the go to is basically collecting the signal, and it is this go to and from are internally connected, and from the from we are giving the signal, isn't it? Because you can see in the go to we have an arrow coming inside the go to, and in the from block we have an arrow going out from the from block. That means the system will be operated in such a way that we are giving the signal in the go to block. Go to and from block blocks are internally connected, and then we are getting the signal from the from block. Suppose I am giving you a very common example. Suppose as we have two parameters here, two VABC and IABC, which we want to make routing operation. So we need two go to block. So let me copy this go to. And paste, and again copy the from block and paste it accordingly. So I will take the go to block near the VABC and IABC. Okay, now connect a VABC with go to and connect the IABC with go to 1, and connect the from with this first port and from with the second port. Okay, so basically what we are doing, we are connecting two, we are taking two go to and two from routing blocks for the routing of the VABC and IABC from the three-phase measurement block to the scope. So what we need, we have to route two voltage, two parameters. So we are taking two go to and two from. Okay, now we have to interconnected the from and go to block. How to connect it? See, first of all, click on the from block. Suppose this is block A, okay, and click on the from block. Suppose this make this block as B. Okay, so we have two blocks, two from block, one is A and one is B. Now A must be connected. A from the from must be connected with the A from the go to. Now we have to click on the go to, and we are writing here A. Okay, so okay. So you can see this A is and this A both are connected. Now we have to click on the go to one. Here also A is there. Now I am taking this as B. So what we are doing here, we are taking this B with this B. So this go to A is connected with from A, and go to, let me take this go to as we are taking the current. So let me name this as IABC GT. GT stands for go to, and this as for voltage. So let us connect this VABC GT for go to. Okay, now I am naming this from block as VABC F for from, and this as IABC F. So as you can see, VABC go to and VABC F both have this, both the go to and the from routers have the same name, that is AA. That means these both are interconnected. And the IABC go to and IABC from, both the blocks have the same banner, that is BB. B stands for, that is we are connecting the B go to with the B from. Okay, now what we have to do, you have to simply run the circuit, and you have to click on the scope, and you will get the same waveform. You will get the same waveform, but the difference is, in the previous case, we are using the direct connection from the VI measurement block to the scope. And now we are connecting the VI measurement block to the scope via go to and from router. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If the class will end, please join again. Ayan sir, if the
Yes,
class will end, only 1 minute left. So if the class will end, please join again.
Okay, sir.
sir. Hello.
Okay, we will talk after the class. Only 1 minute left क्योंकि
सर वैल्यू बता दें सर, रजिस्टर और वोल्टेज सोर्स का वैल्यू क्या है?